That's cool.
Shannon and Brian McCracken moved to Topeka's HiCrest neighborhood 10 years ago for a simple reason as they started out in life.
It was a cheap living.
They've stayed and worked to make it a good living for their 3 children. But it's not always easy.
All the gang activities, probably a big problem in our area.
I've seen a lot of drug houses, and it's sad as a mom to know that I can't take my kids outside because there's other dangerous people preventing my kids from being free.
Topeka Police Community Officer Justin Long, assigned to HiCrest 18 months ago, saw it too.
People didn't really want to communicate with law enforcement whatsoever.
Last summer, it boiled over. A 3-week stretch from late June into July saw 8 drive-by shootings and 2 homicides. One of those victims, 5-year-old Lily Coates Nichols. What did that do to the neighborhood?
I think it was a big shock. I think a lot of the people in the community, it settles easier, obviously, if it's, for example, a gang member shooting at another gang member, something like that, getting hit, where you had this 5-year-old girl who was innocent.
It became a rallying point for action.
The neighbors in HiCrest had told us that, look, just come in and we will support you.
Police Chief James Brown says neighborhood groups paved the way for an intense law enforcement effort involving support from the Kansas Highway Patrol and other agencies. He estimates an additional 2,000 hours of manpower poured into HiCrest in late July and early August. Officers logged a total of 86 arrests.
After we was in HiCrest for 6 months, we did have a 45% reduction in violent crimes, and we had a 40% reduction in property crimes. So if you look at statistical data, that is huge.
Community groups also noticed a difference.
They really felt a community and felt like that they needed to take the neighborhood back.
The Topeka Rescue Mission launched NetReach in 2013 based in the former Avondale East School building. Interim Director Terry Hunn says in the wake of last summer's violence, programs like Taco Tuesday and Dare to Dream transformed from something to do to a place people wanted to be, even having to create waiting lists.
They came together with mentors. They came together with people that were willing to walk alongside them. And to watch them coming out of isolation and watching them to come together as, a group and a team and people who really do care about each other.
But the question on many minds is, can that be sustained? Topeka police logs from 2014 and 2015 note the spike in calls and arrests last June and July. But comparing November and December, traditionally quieter months, you see roughly the same number of calls year to year. As for the intense enforcement effort, a review of Shawnee County Jail and court records shows of the 86 arrests, 78 were adults. 20 of those were minor citations never booked into jail. 40 people had city or county warrants, mostly offenses like traffic violations, theft, or domestic. 1 suspect faces federal firearms charges, while 17 saw new criminal charges in Shawnee County. Among those, 4 are still in court, 2 await sentencing, 2 are serving new prison terms, 1 has a warrant for not showing up in court, and 7 received suspended sentences or probation. 2 people also have been arrested on new charges. Overall, authorities say those efforts are a success.
What we were targeting was more of the violent crime aspect and the gang activity.
Do you feel like this neighborhood is safer than it was 6 months ago?
I definitely think some people have gone to jail that were fairly violent people, obviously, that was showed due to the events that happened last summer. And with those people being gone, I would tend to say that yes, it is a safer neighborhood today than what it was a year ago.
Still, the McCrackens are waiting to see what summer brings around.
Gunshots ring when it's hot.
So too are police. But they're hopeful they've laid the groundwork with new organized crime and gang unit and investing in 15 new cameras to conduct surveillance operations.
And when they do come out from under the rocks, if they're misbehaving and they're doing criminal behavior, we will catch them and we will incarcerate them.
This is my guy right here.
Plus, they say residents are willing to speak up now. But Officer Long says those people need to know the community still cares.
The community is no longer rallying around them, that it could drop off and we could go back to seeing the stuff that we did see last year.
And for all the arrests that were made, still no one has come forward to say who killed Lily. And it's why the McCrackens say those dedicated to the neighborhood will continue to fight.
We just want a peaceful neighborhood. There has to be a voice. Somebody has to say something, because if you don't say anything, then nothing's ever going to be done.